Center mass especially, I think, deserves to be examined through stems. I'm excited to dive into all the, especially vocal textures that, listening to it on the album, I think I felt but did not hear or understand or appreciate like I do now. So this is going to be really fun. Grab your favorite drink and a nice pair of headphones. Let's listen. Okay, so...
Figure that how it's Figure that how it's right this way. Right.
A little softer than I used to be. Used to mouth off often with artillery. Now with his cough drops and soft spots in the middle seat.
Right this way.
Chivalry. A tighter space than I used to know. Spread out wide no more. Pinch my shoulders close, hoping they misplace my reservation.
Right this way.
Okay.
I thought you had it figured out.
I know.
You said you made it to the top.
I lied.
So tell us, how did you make up? All right.
All of the incidental automations and delays and multiple forms of reverb on there. This vocal production is so incredibly nerdy and awesome. And you realize when you take out the vocals and you listen to just the instrumental, how much vocal layering contributes to the fullness of the mix. It is so incredibly vocal heavy.
A little softer than I used to be. Used to mouth off often with artillery. Now with his cough drops and soft spots in the middle seat.
Right this way.
Chivalry. A tighter space than I used to know. Spread out wide no more. Pinch my shoulders close, hoping they misplace my reservation.
Right.
Simple, right? Not overproduced at all. There's a beauty and simplicity with all 21 Pilots songs, but I really notice it on this one, especially as we get into some of the layers later and the vocals intensify. I have to point out the interaction between the bass and the drums. It's groovy. Bass. Switch up on the snare. Do you hear that? You want to learn how to interact as a bass player with a drummer? Listen to 21 Pilots stems. That idea that the bass finishes certain kick hits, that's a thing that's been going on for a long time. But I think a lot of bands or musicians who are just getting started, they don't understand that role, the synergy between the kick drum and the bass, and how you can come up with riffs on the bass that finish or add to what the drums are doing, and how the drums can play off of the sustain with certain bass notes or runs. And you hear all these things happening here. Right, there's articulations on either instrument that are unique to that instrument. It's not that they're completely locked. They're locked where they need to be, and they create space between the two where they need to.
They call it center mass. I pull on my shirt sleeve to cover half of my hands. Bring my arms closer to my body, get as small as I can. They call it center mass. That part they aim for, shrink it down to nothing and forgetting what the pain's for. I pull on my shirt.
Let's listen to that section. The oohs in the background are super cool. And then Listen for the quality of the lead vocal and what they're doing effects-wise there.
Cover half of my hands, bring my arms closer to my body. Get as small as I can, they call it center mass. That part they aim for.
It sounds like to me that the lead vocal is either triple tracked or tracked once, and then they've got these millisecond delays that are panned out to widen the effect of that lead vocal.
Cover half of my hands, bring my arms closer to my body. Get as small as I can.
I hear the chorusing and the pitch and various timing discrepancies between those leads. So I'm going to say that this is an actual double or triple and then panned out, as opposed to an effect that's causing the doubling sound.
Hands, bring my arms closer to my body. Get as small as I can.
And then that sounds like a nice plate reverb.
Small as I can, they call it center mass. That part they aim for, shrink it down and
All those slides back there. Ooh.
that part they aim for, shrink it down to nothing and forgetting what the pain's for. I pull on my shirt sleeve to cover half of my face, bring my arms closer to
In head voice, half my face. Even though those are very low in head voice, especially for Tyler, he's making sure that there's multiple textures going on. And this is just part of his genius vocal arranging.
cover half of my face, bring my arms closer to my body. Get as small as they say, they call it center mass.
He's got a weightier chest voice presence on the lead, and it sounds weightier because of the contrast of the higher, lighter head voicey background vocals.
I pull on my shirt sleeve to cover half of my face, bring my arms closer to my body. Get as small as they say, they call it center mass. That part they aim for. Right this way.
Listen to this. Listen to this.
That part they aim for. Right this way.
This band limited, screamy abandonment back there.
That part they aim for. Right this way. If you're frustrated, your first mate in the 5th grade tried to persuade, try your want to be shown on the bus.
So simple. Serving the song.
That part they aim for. Right this way. If you're frustrated, your first mate in the 5th grade tried to persuade, try your want to be shown on the bus.
Right this way.
Chains up my huff, anxious enough as it is. Gotta walk, never looking up once at the kids in the park. What a day, getting dark, what a day.
Right this way.
Okay.
I thought you had it figured out.
I know.
You said you made it to the top.
I lied.
So tell us how did you make up for it?
Those tight fourths and fifths harmonies there.
Oh, I know.
You said you made it to the top.
I lied.
The octave lower is cool.
I know.
You said you made it to the top.
I lied.
So tell us how did you make up for it?
And some commentary on the lyrics and the delivery. I just love little incidental things like this that aren't included in the lyrics.
Make up for it.
Well, he's telling a story.
A tighter space than I used to know. Spread out wide no more. Pinch my shoulders close, hoping they misplace my reservation.
Right this way.
Okay.
I thought you had it.
Okay. It's both rhythmic, it's sort of ad-libby, whimsical, and fun. And then this journey he takes you on and like who he used to be, what he's becoming, the insecurity that comes with going through transitions and becoming someone different. We all become different, a different version of ourselves as we get older. But this picture that he paints, so, this...
That part they aim for. Right this way. If you're frustrated, your first mate in the 5th grade tried to persuade. I lied.
Right this way.
Okay.
I thought you had it figured out.
I know.
You said you made it to the top.
I lied.
So tell us how did you make up for it?
There's another one of those. Well.
So tell us, how did you make up for it?
Well, I pull
Let me tell you.
on my shirt sleeve to cover half of my hands. Bring my arms closer to my body, get as small as I can. They call it center mass, that part they aim for. Shrink it down to nothing and forgetting what the pain's for.
That's the thing that just makes it crazy, is that I can just have the vocals, the drums, and the bass, and you're not missing much. And that's, I think, the case with a lot of 21 Pilots songs. I mean, yeah, you are missing this depth of the arrangement, but wow. I mean, the reason their songs work so well is because they can exist in such simplicity.
Bring my arms closer to my body, get as small as I can. They call it center mass, that part they aim for. Shrink it down to nothing and forgetting what the pain's for. I pull on my shirt sleeve to cover half.
And then they treat us to just an orchestration here.
On my shirt sleeve to cover half of my face. Bring my arms closer to my body, get as small as they say. They call it center mass, that part they aim for. Shrink it down to nothing and forgetting what the pain's for.
Okay. All right. Ready?
That part they aim
Eruption, and I shouldn't be so affected and excited because he does this so often in songs, and that's part of what I love about his voice and his writing, their writing and their arranging. They save themselves for the moment. It's not here very much, and when it is, we love it. There's so many dynamics, so many emotions, such a journey. This section right here, and the sections following, deserve to be broken down in STEM listening fun.
that part. That part they aim
And you know what? I never, there's this synth thing that's going on right here. However, there's a synth effecty sort of sound because of those background vocals. And listen to how we've got these chord changes within the harmonies.
that part they aim
We're going from the 1 chord to the 4 chord in how those harmonies are articulating those transitions. And then that little fall off there. 5, so the 5th. There's a 9th or a 2 in there. All this dissonance that I did not really hear as vocals when you listen. I thought it was sort of blended into the synth. I just thought it was that really forward 4.
that part they aim
So awesome.
that part they aim
And I like that we can hear little pitch deviations in that note. It's not ratcheted real tight with tuning. And so you get this extra vulnerability out of it. Again, they're so strategic about how they use tuning. They do use tuning, but they let enough of the natural vulnerable things with his voice out that it doesn't ever bother me. In fact, when they do use it, I'm kind of like, oh, cool, neat effect. Let's talk about his technique here.
that part they aim
Get the note clean any way you can. Fa, fa, fa. Head voice is preferable. And then practice adding weight to it. Fa, 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 Let yourself crack and sort of develop the weight and sensation of the sound. But the idea is to get it light. We don't just, that's not what he's doing. That's not all of what he's doing. Then we're going to practice actually holding back. We're going to take this from a belted and then we're going to cry it a little bit. Like that. And then we're going to find a middle ground as we place it back. And then we're going to hold back energy by embracing the sensation of lifting something heavy. Far. I'm adding cool harmonic distortion over that note, and it's actually a little quieter and more reserved. So if we do that up here, that part they aim for. I took the distortion off and let my voice go without the distortion, and it was actually louder, and my voice started to crack a little bit. This compression, holding back air, and the practice of that sensation allows me to be more confident in my pitch, weirdly enough. There's lots of different ways you can use compression once you get that note clean. If you'd like more help doing this kind of thing with your own voice, I can help you. Click the link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free singing course. I'll help you pull from your inspirations and do things with your voice you never thought possible.
That part they aim
I like to exit there too. It lightens up, which he does a ton later, and I didn't really notice it as much until I got to hear it in isolation. Let's listen.
Found out what I'm worth. I run to you. I hope you understand this run-on sentence.
We hear the aggression in his voice from here, but with a quiver and a recoiling, which perfectly represents what he's saying in the lyrics and what he has said in the lyrics. It's like he's doing this. Right? Let's listen to some guitar real quick, though, because this is a pretty cool riff. Now you say, he's just playing, like, sounds like he's doubling the bass or playing chords or whatever, and there's a little bit of layers in there, but not so. Listen to the difference between the bass and the guitar. Bass. Drums. So the bass is providing, right? And then the guitar is, and of course the drums are mimicking those subdivisions in different parts of the kit. But the guitar is really sort of held back, grungy and lurchy, because there's less subdivisions. That's what the bass and the drums are suggesting. Got the syncopation there. And if you listen to that syncopation with the drums, it leaves this nice little space, this nice little pocket. You don't notice it so much when you throw the bass in there, but there's this pullback from the guitar that's creating this groove. What a pocket. Okay, now listen to this.
Found out what I'm worth. I run to you. I hope you understand this run-on sentence. My tattoos only hurt when meaning fades. with good intentions. I don't
Okay.
find out what I'm worth.
What I'm worth. What I'm worth. He ends in this quivery head voice, but of course he's not there the whole time. This transition of character and emotional release in each one of these lines, it happens sort of the same in every one, like there's this sort of general framework, but they're also uniquely desperate sounding.
Found out what I'm worth.
We have that compressed found, that distorted held back, not found, but found. Just a little more nasal, a little more back from a belt with the compression. And then he transitions, found out what I'm worth. A weepiness. And it's head voice. And you hear him crack sometimes.
I run to you.
To you.
I run to you. I hope you understand this run-on sentence.
This run-on sentence is a little bit more confident, right?
Sentence. My tattoos only hurt when meaning fades.
I love that line.
My tattoos only hurt when meaning fades.
Like, oh, the meaning of this tattoo has faded, and now it seems like, oh, that wasn't worth the pain if I can't even remember that. It's just, there's so much imagery.
When meaning fades, I think my skin got worse with good intentions.
And both of those, you hear him on pitch, but he's cracking into head voice as he goes down.
My skin got worse.
My skin got worse.
My skin got worse with good intentions.
With good intentions. With good intentions. Don't shy away from voice cracks. They are one of the most amazing sonic tools you have to engage genuine vulnerability in your expressive voice. If you are so afraid of your voice cracking and you have to hit these notes and do these things, you will never get even close to the level of connected communication that we are hearing here.
With good intentions.
With good intentions. With good intentions. With good intentions. Ugh. With good intentions. No, that's not the character. That's not the emotion that's being felt here.
With good intentions. I don't want to say what happened. I just want to let it go. Nothing.
And there, like I just want to let it go. Right? Oh, it just is so.
Nothing was the same right after I went to the funeral.
Right.
I just want to let it go.
Okay. I just want to let it go. There's an imperfection that is acceptable because it is so engaged.
I just want to let it go. Nothing was the same right after I went to the funeral. I miss you so much.
I miss you so much. The past. And you know what? I could even be wrong about the way I'm interpreting these lyrics about him, missing his old self, but celebrating the new. And but it doesn't matter. That's how it speaks to me. And these vocals, man, they drive it home.
Nothing was the same right after I went to the funeral. I miss you so much. Take what you want. Take what you want from me. Took you for granted.
I love how he goes into Fry there at the end on Took You for Granted.
Took you for granted.
Granted. Another exit. And that's another lesson here. So many vocalists focus on the entrance to their notes, right? Am I hitting the note? What is my distortion good? Or, how's my tone? When they're hitting the note. These sections are all about the exits. That's where the story is told and completed in how he exits each phrase. Because we have this over and over again in different sonic ways.
I don't want to say what happened. I just want to let it go. Nothing was the same right after I went
The bird chirpy sounds, so cool.
Call it Santa Mass. They call it Santa Mass. That part they aim for. That part they aim for.
I feel like the vocals here at the end are almost taking an organ roll. The way that they roll up and slide and the subtle vibrato that's on there. So creative. He has so many different textures. He can be endless amount of instruments with his voice.
They call it Santa Mass. That part they aim for. That part they aim for. That part they aim for. That part they aim for.
Part they aim for. Ends on that note. Interesting choice and so neat.
That part they aim for.
Part they aim for. We expect him to end the song on that. For, but it's for. It ends on the 4 chord or 4 note with his vocal.
That part they aim for. That part they aim for.
4, but there's no instrumental support, so there's this dissonance and this unresolve at the end, which that part they aim for, uneasiness, right? Everybody else out there, that's your most vulnerable spot, and that's where people are aiming, and it leaves you with this discomfort. And he's using music theory, or what can be interpreted as music theory, to create a synergy with the lyrics. And I was going to say something about that with the vocal technique earlier, like this isn't all just raw emotion. I mean, there's real practiced technique that goes into getting his voice to the point where he can express the way he's expressing. So we don't want to say like, oh, just go crazy and sing whatever you feel or scream whatever you feel and don't worry about it. No, there's a time to practice feeling out different sensations and developing your technique with your voice. And then there's a time to hit the record button and forget about what you practiced and let your muscle memory take over so that you can engage in a musical moment, in creating musical connection with yourself and with the people who are listening. And there are few bands and few vocalists who understand this as well as 21 Pilots.
That part they aim. That part they aim for. That part they aim for. That part they aim for.
Here are a few other analysis videos I've done on Breach. Be sure to check them out if you haven't seen them already. And again, if you would like help working with your own voice to bring out true character and connectedness, click the link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free singing course. We'll see you for more.